Welcome back everybody, my name is Tucker, this is Sporting Logically, and today I want to talk about some NBA draft busts. But instead of bashing these guys for not becoming perennial all-stars or MVP candidates, I wanted to show some love to those guys that managed to stick around in the league and become valuable contributors to a team other than the one that drafted them, rather than fall out of the league completely as so many other draft busts have done. Each player on this list is a former top 10 pick, so if you don't see someone on this list that you think should be, it may be because I didn't consider them a bust because they were a mid to late first round pick. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Number 1. Drafted with the 4th overall pick in the 2010 draft, Wesley Johnson was seen as a great athlete with a long wingspan and smooth offensive game, giving him the ability to have a high impact on both ends of the floor as a combo forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Unfortunately for Johnson, his on-court production has just never matched what you would expect for a top 5 pick. He was traded to Phoenix after just 2 seasons in Minnesota and has found himself on 4 different teams in total in his first 8 seasons in the league. He did have a bit of a resurgence from 2013 to 2015, posting career highs in a number of categories in his 2 seasons with the Lakers, which turned into him signing a deal in the summer of 2015 with his current team, the LA Clippers. Despite currently being the least statistically productive player on this list, Johnson has provided valuable contributions to the Clippers in his time with the team. He has played in over 70 games this season, starting in nearly 40 of them, and provides them with a solid defensive presence on the wing to go along with league average shot making from the 3-point line. Nobody is going to confuse Johnson with a great perimeter player, but he has at least found a way to stick around in the league as a valuable contributor to a near playoff team in the West this season, rather than just wash out of the league completely. Number 2. The 8th overall pick in the 2010 draft, Al-Farouq Aminu was seen as an incredible athlete with limitless defensive potential, along with a raw offensive game that could one day allow him to develop into one of the best wings in the league. That untapped potential was part of what made him such a valuable piece in the package that brought Chris Paul to the Clippers in December of 2011. With his new team in New Orleans, Aminu struggled to refine his offensive game, making his contributions on that side of the ball very limited. Despite some occasionally strong performances, he never really seemed to blossom into the important piece the team was expecting in partial return for their All-NBA guard. After showing more of the same in one season in Dallas after signing a 1-year deal with the Mavs in the summer of 2014, the Portland Trail Blazers saw something that the rest of the league seemingly didn't, signing Aminu to a 4-year, $30 million deal in the summer of 2015, a contract that has become one of the better values in the league when you look at the salaries that 3-and-D wings like Aminu now command. Aminu's accuracy from 3-point range has improved dramatically in his time with Portland, and his two-way impact for the team as a combo forward can't be overstated. Although he hasn't become as much of an offensive threat as many optimists hope he would coming out of college, he's leveraged the best parts of his game into a valuable role on one of the best teams in the Western Conference this season. Number 3. The 2nd overall pick in the 2008 NBA draft, calling Michael Beasley a bust after his first few seasons in the league would have been considered blasphemy. After 2 productive seasons in Miami, Beasley was traded away to the Timberwolves as a salary cap casualty of the budding Heat super team being created in South Beach. In his first season in Minnesota, Beasley had a career year and was in the top 20 in the league in scoring, production that he's been unable to duplicate at any other point in his career. He signed a 3-year, $18 million deal with the Suns in the summer of 2012, but was waived in 2013 as a string of off-the-court incidents that would become a pattern in his career derailed what was a promising start for the young forward. Beasley returned to the Heat in 2013 and bounced around between the Rockets, Bucks, and a few stints in the Chinese Basketball Association through 2017. Talent has never really been a question for Beasley, but he seemingly always struggled with some kind of off-the-court incident or behavior issue that's prevented him from sticking around with one specific team. Continuing his nomadic ways, Beasley signed on to play for the New York Knicks this past offseason, his 4th NBA team in the past 5 years. However, on a team with such dire need for offense, especially after Kristaps Porzingis went down with injury, Beasley has seen a resurgence this season, seeing his highest minutes and points per game averages since his time in Minnesota. Though it remains to be seen if this will be the season that allows Beasley to stick around with the team for the long term, he's once again established himself as a valuable offensive weapon to any team in need of a scoring punch in the front court. Number 4. The 2nd overall pick in the 2010 draft. Also, I'm just now realizing as I'm recording this that 3 of the 4 members of this list come from the 2010 draft, which is a weird coincidence. Evan Turner certainly had his struggles in his early years with the Sixers. He had a label as a bit of a tweener without a position before it was cool, and his lack of a consistent 3-point shot certainly didn't help him either. He did manage to put together strong 3rd and 4th seasons in the league with the Sixers and later with the Pacers after being traded to Indiana, but the team decided not to bring him back as a restricted free agent. This turned out to be the best thing for Turner and his career, as Brad Stevens sprinkled his Magic Coach of the Year pixie dust on Turner's game and unlocked his ability as a versatile defender and perimeter playmaker on the wing. After 2 productive seasons in Boston, Turner parlayed his strong play into an admittedly hefty 4-year, $70 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. Though that is a high price to pay for a player that isn't challenging for any All-Star appearances, Turner has continued to be a strong defender and playmaker on the wing. Even though his three-point shot hasn't developed the way seemingly every other perimeter player's has in Terry Stotts' time in Portland. Although the term bust might be a bit of a strong term when describing Turner's career arc, he certainly didn't fulfill the potential you would normally associate with a second overall pick. But just as with the other players on this list, he's found his role on a team that's found a way to put him in a position to utilize his best skills, which is a lot more than you can say about a large number of players that have been considered NBA draft busts. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, then leaving a like rating is a great way to let me know, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this, then be sure to subscribe to Sporting Logically, and I will see all of you next time.